your dick in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, OCCW proudly presents the Royal Ramble with Mikey O'Shea, Azrael, and Jonathan Malice.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Orange County Championship Wrestling's Royal Ramble, where we discuss topics of nationwide importance to the wrestling game and of local importance to the independent scene. To my right is the ever-present, always exciting Mikey O'Shea, the Irish juggernaut.
Jugs.
To my left, the inimitable, incorrigible, indescribable, inescapably
indescribable. Yes, high desert champion, still reigning, defending, always eternal, ever vigilant, ever present. I am the Lord of the high desert. On 316, I stomped a mud hole in Sexy Chino and I walked it dry all over the city of Barstow.
And that's the bottom line.
And that's the bottom line. Because Azrael said so.
Okay, that's right. We're going to talk a little bit. Tell us a little bit about, where you were, where you wrestled this weekend.
Well,
tell us a little bit about where you wrestled this weekend. But we'll start with you.
We're at D6W in Barstow, and we saw the angry Mikey O'Shea. This is the Mikey O'Shea that I like, the Mikey O'Shea that I enjoy, the Mikey O'Shea that people stole his lucky charms, and he was not having any of that. Do you want to talk about that situation, Mikey O'Shea?
Yeah, Mikey O'Shea, let's hear it.
Well, I'll start with Friday. I wrestled at Lucha Pro. I made my return, and I had a tag match against my longtime...
Wait. For those of us who are not for the uninitiated, explain to us Lucha Pro, who runs it, where it is, the type of show it is.
Lucha Pro is run in Los Angeles. It is co-owned by a gentleman by the name of Trigger Gonzalez, who is also a wrestler, and Vintage Dragon. They helped brought back Lucha Pro after a long hiatus from I believe, maybe 2014 to 2017. Back in the day, from 2011 to 2014, they would have shows every single Sunday, which I loved because if you're a wrestler in Southern California and you don't wrestle very often, you can always go there and get yourself a match and improve yourself. And I always loved that audience because there was always a decent amount of people there to watch you wrestle. And that place was like my secondary home outside of Battleground back in the day. A lot of my boys who were burnt out in professional wrestling, they made their return to wrestling from going to that show with me sometimes.
Okay, so Lucha Pro is where?
132 Florence East Avenue, Los Angeles.
The arena is called?
I kid you not, it's actually called The Arena.
Oh, is it really? Okay. So the arena in Los Angeles was the site of Lucha Pro, where you wrestled whom this weekend?
I teamed up with Funny Bone and took on Vintage Dragon and Caden Anthony, who are called the Starbucks. And that show was freaking hilarious. I cannot wait to share the footage because they did not have the best DJ that night. So the Starbucks go out first, I go out next, and my reveal about Funny Bone being my tag team partner was supposed to be a surprise, but after I made my entrance, they started playing Funny Bone's entrance music and announcing him. So he didn't come out because I was supposed to get on the mic and say, I may not have friends, but I have a lot of money. And that was when he was supposed to come out. But when I say, DJ, hit the music. Any day now. Jesus Christ. Because the DJ was that horrible. Anyways, it was a good match. Did not become the Lucha Pro Tag Team Champions because Funny Bone headbutt me in the face and super kicked me because I was being a egotistical asshole. But then Saturday came, and that was a different story. I wrestled at Destination 6 as well, and I wrestled a friend of mine who I've known for a very long time back in Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He is known as the Hobo. And during that time, before him, I was a little frustrated with Destination 6 because I wrestled there 6 times before that match. And the only time I ever won a match at Destination 6 before that was by disqualification. So I kind of had enough of trying to do the right thing. And Hobo was getting the best of me during that match, and I just finally had enough trying to do the right thing. So I As he went up to the top rope, I pushed the referee into the ropes and made him hit his groin, and I took advantage of that and slammed his ass with the gunslinger 1, 2, 3, and I finally got myself a legitimate win at Destination 6 finally. So I tried to roll him out of the ring, so he decided to kick me. So I got on top of him and started punching him in the face. And what did Destination 6 do? They threw their security/students at me.
Did they hold your belt up and declare a tournament for the number 1 contender to that belt?
Right now, he is not a champion. I am a champion.
Oh, sorry.
Mikey O'Shea has yet to win a championship at D6W.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
And they use those poor security children like cannon fodder, let me tell you. They run them out. We're like kill robots.
What happened that night was a flashback to my roots back at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood back in 2012 when I tried to powerbomb a wrestler by the name of Johnny Goodtime on the steel steps. The referees got involved. So I threw their ass in the ring and started throwing them around. Now the crowd should hate me for that, but they just started chanting Wreckin' Mikey. And that's how Wreckin' Mikey became a thing. And a t-shirt.
Okay, so
and you did. You beat the living hell out of everybody in that building, even associated with that organization. With the big rock bottom looking thing. Good God.
That's called a gunslinger.
Yeah, well, that kid's never going to wrestle again or walk, probably, or play video games or skateboard.
Oh, wait, are you talking about that kid that chokeslammed and jackknife powerbomb?
Yeah, that one.
He should not have gotten in the ring.
I know the
Yet alone
gunslinger,
put his hand
Michael.
on me.
I've been hit by the gunslinger. I know which one that is. You're doing a new thing where you throw the guy like a piece of garbage.
I just grabbed him, held him up in the air for a second, and slam dunked him. Choke slam dunk.
And you didn't get suspended and stripped of your title?
Well, I'm not champion. I'm not
He
champion.
still doesn't have a championship. But I do. I won. I defended mine gloriously.
All right, now let's hear about that. And we're going to get Mikey's assessment of your match because I'm sure he watched it from back.
I did not.
You had other stuff to do, you know.
I was getting ready for my match.
All right, good.
My apologies.
So, tell us a little bit about your match.
Now, for everyone who did see my match, it was a hoot and a holler. It was a wonderful affair. Sexy Chino, he might be able to dance, he might be able to move, but you know, I'm not a 25-year-old Asian girl in a club somewhere. I've seen all of that. You can't beat me in no fight. I took it right to Sexy Chino. I stomped a mud hole in him, and I danced it dry in front of all the people in Barstow. I cut a rug on that boy like you could not possibly imagine. I did the Charleston. I did the four square dance. I did a line dance.
The C-walk.
I did the tush push, the C-walk, the B-walk, the achy breaky heart. I did the cabbage patch. I did the electric slide.
The hokey pokey.
I did all the dances
The
that I know
Fortnite
how to do. Right?
Oh,
and
God,
Sexy Chino didn't have nothing.
No.
Have you seen Sexy Chino, by the way? I call him average at best Chino. Not the most attractive man that I've ever seen. I don't understand.
Who is the most
sexy
attractive man that you've ever seen?
Me. I have a mirror. I look at me. I think I am glorious.
You know what? Here, not to break the mood or anything, I want to hear how your match went a little bit better. But Jessica Landau sent us some information that Mikey might like. Tomorrow is Free Small Cone Day at Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And I know there's a bunch of Dairy Queens around town, so you could probably hit each and every one of them before they warn each other that you're coming in.
Free small cone? Is it with the purchase?
I don't know. You have to ask Jessica Landau. So what? So you defended your title,
And I won.
and they didn't strip you of it or anything.
Nope, I won fair and square.
Okay, so what comes next for you?
Well, now I'm going to help the rest of Divine
Hey.
Intervention reclaim. Look, they're talking about black people things. They're planning our demise. I hear them muttering, cracker-ass cracker from over here.
The views and opinions of Azrael do not reflect upon Mikey
watching
O'Shea.
You watching me,
But
watching
maybe
you
this
out
guy,
there
I don't
in
know
Los
about that.
Angeles and TV land. I am ready on threes. It was St. Patrick's Day, and we both got victories. All right, high five.
High five.
High five, brother.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right, so like I was saying, I took it to Sexy Chino.
Crack-ass
started putting my
cracker.
beating to him. What? What? How dare you besmirch
We'll see how
my-
lucky you guys get on Cinco de Mayo.
I want to speak to the manager of this organization.
I'm right here.
I'm going to file a Yelp review about this.
Well, you know what? And that brings us to this next topic. How did you spend your day, your St. Patrick's Day?
Drinking a fifth of Jim Beam. What? Some Johnny Walker. What? Drinking a little bit of whiskey. What? Drinking the Guinness. What?
And Mikey, how did you spend Gringo de Mayo?
Tilt to kilt.
Atta boy.
Very original. Very original.
See,
Tiggo bitties.
no matter what races divide us and
That's
whatnot, we
Hooters.
can all agree that we like getting drunk on certain holidays and eating chicken and such.
chicken on.
Yeah.
I thought it was corned beef and cabbage.
That's disgusting. I moved to America for a damn reason.
Right?
I'm trying
Oh my
to eat
God.
the food at that good.
My mom is the greatest chef or the greatest cook in the world, but I swear to God, no matter what she did, she could not make corned beef and cabbage taste good.
Right?
No.
So you said what's next for me, and what is next? I'm helping the rest of Divine Intervention reclaim their tag team championships. Freddie Flores and Freddie Helmuth were wrongly stripped, taken the belts away from, and handed to Steven Andrews and Simon Lotto. And again, in front of the crowd, I was able to. They had a giveaway. They were giving things away at D6W because they like to give things away for free. They give away
Taco gift
T-shirts.
cards.
They give away tag team championship
Yeah, one of those
belts.
T-shirts hit me in the face.
If you happen to be walking around, if you come down to the arena, you put a quarter in their claw machine, you might walk out with the tag team championships. God only knows.
Or get your ass kicked by me at X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Right? The team of high risk. I see HFS Steven Andrews flying over the top rope, taking all of the risk. And I look at Simon Lotto and I see, obviously, this is the high of the tag team. He's walking around with his hooded sweater on, looking like the villain in a Dare video. And I'm like, these are the tag team champions that Barstow deserves. But by God, Divine Intervention is the tag team champions that you need. We run Gold Coast Federation. Everywhere that we go, we are dominant. We beat up the team of the heavy hitters, Mikey O'Shea a little bit. Again, very sorry about all that. I get
The
Angel
independent
starts
world of
yelling,
professional wrestling can be very bipolar.
right? You know, sometimes I listen to Angel, and Angel has got crazy ideas, like beat up the O'Shea boy, and I'm like, but why? He's our friend.
He's an idiot.
And then I get confused, and you know, I follow along. There's like 6 guys. It's a whole gang mentality thing. You wouldn't understand.
Yo, you're right. I don't understand the whole gang mentality, but what I do understand is that
Thug life.
Thug life. It's Thug life. I understand that Mikey is wait, no, that's not you. So what's next for you? You're wrestling where?
Wow.
Where are you wrestling next?
OCCW. We're
Thank
gonna
you,
have the
yes.
Heartbreak City Rumble.
Yes, Heartbreak City Rumble. That will be coming at you on March 30th at the American Legion Post 716. 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal for the #1 contendership of the Orange County Championship Wrestling heavyweight title. You'll see Azrael. You'll see greats like B.A. Marcus Frey. You'll see some of the most well-known guys.
Mikey O'Shea. God damn it, Mikey O'Shea.
You may see Mikey O'Shea. You don't know exactly who's going to be there. So make sure you come on out and check it out. Tickets available here at Della O Training Center or at the American Legion Post 716.
By the way, Jessica said, hey, John, Azrael, and Mikey, next month is my birthday. Wink, wink.
Nice.
I'll make sure
Happy early birthday.
I'll make sure to forget something to get you something, right? Anyway,
I will say.
Oh.
wait.
Uh-oh.
Before
What's
that,
going on here?
Before that, we're gonna talk a little bit about WWE because Mikey was really excited to come in. Why don't you grab that chair there, young man? Right over there. Have a seat next to your newfound Bible study friend.
Yeah, you know what? Come here. Sit by me. Take this chair. I'll sit at the back of the bus.
Sweating, Mike.
I'll sit.
Don't think that you found a new attitude at D6 that ain't nobody scared of you.
Oh, he's got a point.
Believe that.
Believe that.
Bleed. How you spell that?
Bleed that.
Bleed.
That.
How you doing, BA? You know I don't want any
Doing good.
trouble today. It's early in the show, right? Have a seat.
Well, I mean, as long as you ain't got Goostin dumbass here, we should be good.
Goostin what?
Goostin
Scoot
dumbass.
down a little bit so that we
Yeah,
can get
Mikey, we need to everybody scooting down.
Right.
Good.
Danny don't need to be
You
here.
know what? What we need to do is put some rollers on these
You got a
chairs.
fourth microphone?
Maybe we would rent it. No, you share that one with him.
Share Ebony and Ivory. Come
Now,
on.
before we go on to the next topic, I'd like to let everybody know that I will be wrestling this coming Sunday back in Oregon. I haven't been there since July. I will be making my return to West Coast Wrestling Connection in Salem,
Home of
Oregon.
crack-ass crackers. He's
To
going
any-
back
to
to
anybody-
one of the whitest damn places.
To that 1 or 2 people that are watching the podcast and actually live in Oregon, I will be there in Salem this Sunday.
He's going to fit right in. There's just some of the pasty-ass people that out in Oregon.
No, that would be Eugene.
Oh, okay, Eugene. Who's Eugene? Is he the
Eugene,
pastiest person you know?
Eugene, Oregon.
I know that. I was making a joke.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
He's talking
Anyway.
Sorry,
about his jeans, not Eugene.
Sorry, Game of Thrones. Like the shirt.
But Mikey O'Shea has been a former
Nice shirt, love it.
WCWC Tag Team Champion. And who is your partner, Michael?
Like, I had 4.
Okay. Pick the famous one.
Gangrel.
There you go. See, Mikey O'Shea ain't nobody to mess around with. Mikey O'Shea is on a goddamn path of rage, and he's going to demolish the city of Barstow. We are going to burn that town to the ground and salt the ashes. Not like anything grows there anyway, but I'm sure as shit going to make sure that it don't ever in the future.
The only thing that grows is stupid ass children into dumbass adults.
Oh, I like that.
Wow.
I have been telling those children to stay in school and get an education so you can live somewhere nice, like Los Angeles, with all these palm trees and big buildings and
Hey,
whatnot.
yeah, we're gonna need to move out of LA and into Orange County sooner or later, since we are Orange County Championship Wrestling based.
Have you seen any skyline views
Let's do
in
that right
Orange
now. Let's
County?
find an OC
What is he
background.
gonna put?
Let's give him a beach.
If we put the background of Disneyland in
that'd
these
be funny.
windows, I'm done.
Let's switch over to Disney real
Farm.
quick.
Yeah, you probably like Knott's Berry Farm better.
Medieval times.
Okay, all right, so
Laser Quest.
before we go,
So we're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw. Is that what we want
Mikey
to
had
do?
something he wanted to share, and I know you probably saw it too.
I saw enough to get nauseous.
I had stuff to do because I'm a grown-ass man with responsibilities.
Yeah, so
I saw a lot of Monday Night Raw. First off, two things. First off, I'm very happy to see the return of a WWE Hall of Famer
Beth
back in
Phoenix,
action,
yeah.
Beth Phoenix. I'm very happy to see her returning, and she will be teaming up with Natalya to go after the new WWE Women's Tag Team Championships.
I'm sure Edge is happy to see her out of the damn house too, so he could get some peace and quiet.
Well, the legendary contract can only pay the bills for so long. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true.
someone's got to go back to work. Anyways, the one thing I wanted to talk about was Kurt Angle. Now, I'm happy to see that he's going to finish his run in WWE as a wrestler at WrestleMania, like any wrestler would dream about doing when they work for WWE.
I feel like that run should have happened a long time ago and should have finished a long time ago. I mean, he moves like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz, and it's not the Tin Man from The Wiz, because at least that one can pop lock. this one just pops and then it locks up.
Hey! The way I see it, if anybody can move if anybody can move better than Lex Luger during the WCW dying days, anybody can still go. And I think he still has enough gas in the tank for one more match at WrestleMania.
Like that
the person
gas-
that he's facing is what disappoints me. And I'm not the only one that agrees. Baron Corbin.
Yeah, that was a piece of garbage pick right there where, I mean, even Shelton Benjamin throwing his hat in the ring was better than Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin, and it is just going to be a passing of the torch, so you say, as him losing to Baron Corbin. It's going to be the biggest slap in the face.
Which actually kind of sucked, because when he announced that, the person he faced that night is what I was actually hoping for at WrestleMania, Chad Gable.
That would have been entertaining.
That would be a better match than him and Baron Corbin.
I mean, even him and Bobby Roode would have been more entertaining. Take it back to the days where they wrestled at TNA.
Yep.
But of course, you don't want to do anything to bring attention to another organization. So why have the two guys that were prominent names in TNA face each other again in WWE? It's stuff like that makes me go,
well,
what are y'all doing?
But wait! They did Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles for 2 pay-per-views.
Well, yeah, but
Is there a hole in your head, Azrael?
I don't know.
I feel like I can put my fingers through that. Sorry.
He likes sticking his fingers in holes.
People want to hear about Baron Corbin. Tell them about Baron Corbin.
Right, yeah,
Nah.
The used to be a motorcycle guy that never came out on a motorcycle to now being Mr. Corporate Corbin, and then now not even Corporate Corbin, just a guy that likes to walk around in a vest.
Well, he's got the
fantastic.
easiest job in the world, because he doesn't need to dress in any gear or anything. You just walk in there with his bags, and boom, he's already geared up.
Yeah, some jeans,
He's got
shirt, and
he's
a
got
vest.
the easiest job in the world, even easier than John Cena, because John Cena at least still needs to go and dress up in his merchandise gear.
So why is it not John Cena all of a sudden? It was John Cena versus Kurt Angle, right?
It was a
That
rumor.
would make sense to me.
The
And then
crowd
it
was
was
calling for it, though.
That would make total sense. to me.
During Kurt Angle and Chad Gable's match, they were actually calling for "We Want Cena."
Well, and the thing is, maybe they'll swerve us. Because I feel like that's with Triple H being involved a little bit more. I feel like he likes to do this whole swerve thing of, hey, we played a little bit with your mind to make you think. The cerebral assassin stuff. But I feel like even announcing Baron Corbin is like, you just made anyone who was tuning in that day literally vowed that they're probably not going to watch
Kurt Angle's wife, right after that, Kurt Angle's wife and Jim Ross literally went to Twitter and
okay, I
bitched
saw
about
the
it.
last time I saw Kurt Angle wrestle, and correct me if I'm this is the last time I saw him. Was in the mixed tag with Ronda Rousey at what was it? It wasn't WrestleMania.
That was terrible.
He was a bit rough there
He
too.
did not look like. It was a good match. Oddly enough, it was a pretty good match. He didn't look like he could move. Has he gotten better since then?
Slightly.
He's a year older, and the athlete years become dog years when you start to get past 40. So,
how if someone has a compound fracture in their spine, they put him in that neck brace that also
that's what he
goes
looks
around.
like. Yeah.
That's how he moves. Is he can't move anything with itself, and everything has to move together. If I want to point over here, I gotta.
Yeah. He's probably got fused vertebra.
Right. Yeah. He's now 50 years old, and he's got nearly 20 years of wrestling wrestling and pro wrestling. And before that,
don't get me wrong, I'm not
many years of doing Olympic style wrestling. No. So his body is pretty much banged up.
Yeah, and I get that, but then I feel like at some point you got to know to call it quits before this. And I get it. He's thinking, WrestleMania is not that far out, so
3 weeks.
I can wrestle for 3 more weeks and then call it quits. But I'm like, it's the quality of matches that I think are going to be stuck in people's heads, where they're like, man, we remember when this guy went up against Shane McMahon and was throwing him through plexiglass windows and doing all this crazy stuff, or went up against Brock Lesnar at a WrestleMania and put on one of the best matches that we've ever seen between two just wrestling technicians that were pulling out all the stops. And now we're watching this guy where it's like, is he trying to wrestle to his deathbed? Because it looks like at some point he might.
As a wrestler, you should know it's really hard to give up something you love very much.
That's very true. That is, I will agree with that.
So what better way to at least have the balls to finally sit yourself down and call it quits than one more match at the grandest state of them all?
Something tells me you hit the nail on the head. What does WrestleMania cost if you're buying it on paper? Oh wait, it's a network thing, so it's like
$9.99.
So
wait, actually, the first month's free.
So I don't know. On the biggest show, the biggest day of the biggest company in wrestling, I don't know that's the best send off for him. Whatever the case is, Kurt Angle, we wish you luck. Good luck. We'll be tuning in to see your match.
Unless you're wrestling Baron Corbin.
BA won't be watching your match, but I will be watching it later for free.
But, if you don't like that match, BA, there's 27 other matches on the card that you're going to enjoy with about.
What is it, starting at 2 o'clock and ending at 10?
I'm pretty sure the pre-show starts in about 45 minutes. So we better get in front of the TV, get some popcorn, get a bag to pee in or whatever. Look, if I have 1 drink per match, I'm going to be dead before Kurt Angle comes out anyway. I'm going to be about 10 deep. I won't even know who's who anymore at that point, at the 7-hour mark. Yeah.
Well, Luis Flores says Kurt Angle will never be remembered like that. Sorry, BJ. He meant to say BA, but he called you BJ instead.
No, and that's the thing is, I'm not saying that this is what people are going to remember.
Freudian slip, Luis?
But the one thing that wrestlers always say is you're only as good as your last match.
Yeah.
And that might not mean that for legends that might not really be the case, but at the same time, the kids that are watching today might not know the Kurt Angle of old. We do, but
that's like saying that you're not going to remember Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat's match. You're going to remember Ricky Steamboat getting pinned by the Honky Tonk Man.
That was terrible.
It was terrible. But what do we talk about? Do we talk about that match?
No, I'm going to remember.
We talk about his legacy.
I'm going to remember Randy Savage versus Kevin Nash at Great American Bash 1999.
Okay. Well, I don't remember.
What up, Mach?
Well, real quick, we got Freddie Havoc watching. We got Jessica Sky. Luis Flores, Cholo's watching, Mindy Hinojosa.
I love you, girl.
Gustav Uberstedt. He's in the building, I think, somewhere. And, and Marlon Miranda.
Yeah, I think that's your friend, Marlon Miranda.
Oh, I think he goes to the Destination 6 shows and he actually interviews people on a podcast.
Okay.
There you go.
He interviewed me real good, and I told him all about how I felt about Sexy
Gonzalez is
Chino.
here. Hey, Joe
Average
Gonzalez.
And
Chino.
Joe Gonzalez.
Anything else you want to add?
I'm good.
All right, Mikey, we want to thank you for stopping in today. Wish you continued success. Hang out. We have a special parting gift for you.
Dairy Queen.
If you would like to take this mic over here,
I
sir.
would love to.
All right, good.
Though I have to tag with this one, sitting next to him can be a little rough sometimes.
We're doing good.
Okay, Junior Cholo said, hey, what up, guys? I'm like, hey, how you doing, Cholo? Let me tell you something. When you have a call time, Cholo, and when you're booking a show, and you tell your boys to show up at that time, it's customary to be here when they do get there. That said, this weekend, the Della O Training Center hosted for the first time ever VWE, where promoter Jason Heisel tried his hand in the Orange County arena with his special brand of lucha / American wrestling, of which Lil Cholo was the booker. And let me tell you something. I was so pleased, so pleasantly surprised, so
It's hot as balls.
taken. Okay, well, okay, so taken back to my
Down,
days.
baby.
So taken back to my days as a young wrestling fan that I just wanted to say, hey, fellas, congratulations, you guys. You not only knocked it out of the park, you gave me faith in other promotions, running here in Southern California. So if you're watching, Jason, and you should be because I invited you to come on, and Lil Cholo, way to go. We got to talk about the alcohol sales because, well, that's another story, right? But
Hey, great job on those sales, boys.
yeah. I got $65 just by redeeming the cans.
Damn.
Anyway, so Cholo and Mariachi wrestled. Who did they wrestle? You guys weren't here for that.
Andy
huh?
Brown and Super Beetle.
Andy Brown and Super Beetle.
I remember.
In one of the
Wasn't even here.
one of the most exciting matches I've seen in a long time. It went back and forth, and there were high spots. There were what I would call low spots in that there were just stuff that was ground into the mat that
Boring.
had as much excitement as any flippity-doo-dah nonsense that anyone,
Give me some Vandergriff. What's his name?
Matt Vandergriff.
Vandersnatch?
Yeah,
I like
Give me
Super
some of
Beetle.
his
I had to fight
flips
Super
and
Beetle.
all.
Vandergriff is his name.
Vandersnatch, okay.
Okay, anyway, maybe got some heat going on. I don't know.
Real quick. Cholo's like, what are you talking about? It was Amazing Jr. and Matt Vandergriff.
Vandersnatch, hey!
I could
it
have
was
been wrong.
Vandersnatch.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your friendship with Matt Vander.
I don't have a problem with them. I just, everybody has a plan to flip around until you get punched in the mouth.
So violent.
And Amazing Jr. and Matt Vandergriff was amazing. Amazing being the key word.
BA, your arms only look bigger than mine because you're tan.
Is that all it is?
If I go
well,
to the
maybe if
tan
your
and
ass
blaze at
went out
Planet
into the
Fitness,
sun once in a
I
while.
go, I
instead
could
of
die
believe-
like that. You know what you're
mean,
threatening me with?
I
just
know.
like,
Them UV rays might just stay out there until you start to sizzle and then come back in.
Okay, like a piece of bacon. You want me nice and
Exactly.
Because BA loves his bacon.
Yeah, I love my pork.
I thought you didn't eat pork.
I'm not Muslim.
He's not Muslim.
I thought pigs were
And I saw Freddie Havoc.
I like
saw
pig's feet.
Freddie Havoc.
Yes, Freddie Havoc.
Freddie Havoc was in the show. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes, Freddie Havoc wrestled Gusten Uberstu.
Damn it! I wish he would have done a little bit more to keep his ass out of this studio today. But it is what it is. Good try, Freddie. That's all I got to say on that.
And how was that one?
That was, I tell people, if you look at the way that show was booked, we had guys, who don't wrestle in OCCW. Andy Brown, we had Matt Vandergriff. Who else was there?
Junior Cholo.
Junior Cholo was there, Little Cholo. Mariachi wrestles for us.
Your son, Danny, was there too.
Super Beetle. Hey, was that the real Super Beetle or was that one of the fake ones?
That was the real Super Bowl.
Are you sure?
From what I was
You
told.
tested
No,
it?
I'm not sure, but that's
Okay.
what they told me. I can only believe what they told me. Gusten Uberstute and Freddie Havoc, they had a match that was very indicative of what we do at OCCW. I was very pleased with, the ebb and flow of the match. I was excited to see how, to be frankly, there wasn't a single soul in the building that comes regularly to the OCCW shows. These were all people who are following Mariachi Loco, who are following Lil Cholo, Super Beetle, or Andy Brown, those types. So these were all people who had who pretty much not seen Goostin or Freddie, and to watch Goostin get over and just really get that crowd behind him, literally and figuratively behind him, right? It was just it was really good to see. It was a good crowd, and
Fuck him.
no,
I'm sorry.
no.
Sorry. I mean, no. I mean, the one thing I gotta say about Goostin is he's very good about playing up to what the crowd wants. I mean, shit. You want
When
me?
did you get such a potty mouth?
You
used to blush when I would curse in class and such.
That was only because you would do it, and I'd be like, "Oh, he's in charge. Should I, be able to engage in this with him, or should I pretend as though I don't speak this way?" But no, the one thing about Goostin is he's really good about grabbing everyone's attention and other parts, but mainly their attention. And getting them completely enthralled in what he's doing in that ring, So I give him that. He knows how to, but goddamn it, the next time he's in that ring with me, I promise I'm gonna punch every goddamn tooth out of his mouth.
Goostin was a little saltier than usual on this occasion. It seemed like something was, burning him up from the inside. Maybe he ate one of that McDonald's cheeseburgers and that wasn't sitting right with him. Told you that was a bad idea. Don't eat nothing with googly eyes on it, for God's sake.
I mean, he thought that he could play with that potato and then bake it afterwards. I'm like, bro, that's not what you do. You can't walk around sticking chives and googly eyes on things and then going, "Oh, this is my dinner."
This is how people get food poisoning.
And Freddie Havoc says, "What are you talking about? They booed him out of the building."
They did. They booed the Uberstood.
Well,
The glorious stallion of humanity that is the Uberstood, the physical fitness trainer. And they cheered, the fat guy with his shirt on, for God's... What kind of society do we live in?
To
The
be
partier,
fair,
the drinker.
To be fair,
Degenerates.
he had more in common with the crowd than Goostin.
That's why they booed Goostin, because
By the shade of brown.
when you're looking at a guy that looks like he should be sharing the popcorn and sitting next to you, and he gets beat up in the ring, it kind of makes you feel bad for the guy. So of course you're gonna.
We're just on the freeway.
I mean, of course you're gonna boo the fitness guru.
He makes
Come
me do
on.
push-ups. Boo.
Right. Jason Heisel is watching. Jason Heisel is the promoter for VWE, the show that we were talking about. Jason, I'm sending this to you because this is important. I need you to come on and talk about your March 17th show that we're going to be doing here. Again, we're going to have Road Trip 2, whatever you choose to call it. Here, that's VWE, Lil Cholo Mariachi, etc. Jason Heisel, the promoter, will be on the Royal Rumble.
March 17th?
I was about to say, I was like,
Did I say March?
Yeah, we're going back in time.
I'm sorry, May. I don't know what
There
it
you
is.
go. That
I don't
makes
know
sense.
if it's the chair shots or the punches and
It's that
kicks.
mustache,
Just making
bro. It's
sure.
that mustache.
Just making sure.
Yeah, it's the mustache.
Mustache, shave it off, man.
It's not a bad idea. It's getting pretty uncomfortable. All right. So that said, May 17th. Thank you, Jason. It's May 17th here at the Della O Training Center. Let's talk a little bit about AEW. Does anybody have any updates on that? Elite Wrestling?
We are all still sitting around waiting. That's pretty much what it is. They did so much to get everybody enthralled and ready to go. And then they said, now sit around and wait until we do something. Which, I mean, it's not a bad business strategy, because literally what they did was they made all the announcements of all the people that were involved, and they sold all the tickets, and they sold out of all of them. And then now it's like, okay, hey, when does this take place?
Yeah, they got to go around and make deals with every arena that they want to run at.
Yeah.
So it's like, if they're going to tour and do like a weekly television show, then
Is
they
that
got
what
to make
they're
it.
planning on doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
TBS, TNT, the guy who owns the Jaguars has quite a bit of money and would like to fund a wrestling program.
Well, now that he's actually got a quarterback, I mean, he's happy about that.
Wait,
The Arizona Cardinals. I thought.
wait, no, wait.
Colin Kaepernick got a job, by the way.
Okay.
Bengals.
Hey,
No.
look at that.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick.
I ain't mad. I'm going to be taking a knee every Sunday.
Wow.
Thought that might excite you.
Remember the last time that happened? We had a big old.
Oh,
Anyway,
that was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
Why does John drink energy drinks? Good question, Sky.
I mean, here's
getting old?
You're just
You falling
you're-
asleep at night?
All I gotta say is you're lucky that you're not asking the wrestlers to go out during the national anthem at
All right.
At the,
Okay, stop. Stop.
John, why the energy drinks? Are you losing virility as you age? Are
No.
you?
You know what, Mike? You saw Mikey sitting here a little while ago talking
I did.
about stuff.
I was
needed
looking.
something to help me stay awake.
Okay.
So that
Do you spike these?
no, hey,
That
Is
not
that vodka?
That ain't no
That
just
smell
rock
like
star.
vodka
I'm letting
to
y'all
me.
know that ain't. That's more.
Yeah,
than
real
vodka.
quick. K-Cat says Azrael for president. God bless America.
Right? Vote for me in 2020. There's going to be a wide open field, and I might be one of the candidates. I might be busy.
bringing us back to the AEW.
You better bring me on as your vice.
And then plan. Yeah, that would be cool. They'd be planning out their touring and whatnot. Now TNT and TBS had wrestling. The Turner Networks had wrestling for years.
Sure did.
And it fell apart. And to hear Eric Bischoff tell it, it was the executives in the front office. What do they call it? The center tower or whatever. That short circuited WCW. It had nothing to do with Eric Bischoff.
No, I disagree.
Yeah, why? That's
It is the nature of the executive to save his own job.
Right.
God bless him.
So what's going to be different this time? How is AEW and this crew of young go-getters going to be able to mesh with the what is basically the establishment with TNT and CNN, or not CNN but TNT and TBS? What's going to be different this time?
They'll be able to run better storylines.
Yeah,
They'll be able to keep it
I
together.
believe-
They don't have to pay Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash.
I mean, when you got a guy like
millions
Chris
of dollars.
Jericho running for booking and just the storylines that they're going to be able to come up with, it's not going to be the inmates running the asylum.
Okay.
Because that was the issue with WCW is when they started shelling out so much money to guys like Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Big Show when he worked his way up to that level, Lex Luger. Like when they started coming in and dictating what was happening, that's what killed it. I think with this is they're starting out with a clean slate, but they're also starting out with the mentality of we're doing this not for us, but for the fans that have been asking for more, the fans that have been asking for something different. And they're going on that realm rather than I'm here to get myself over.
Right.
It's not Jeff Jarrett.
Yes,
Why are they going to succeed?
because they'll do it better.
Well, okay.
Cody Rhodes knows how weekly television works. The Young Bucks know how weekly television works. They've been producing the All Elite program that they do. They have their own webcast. So they know like how a continuous storyline works. They know how television writing works. If you run to benefit your own show, you'll succeed. If you run to cripple other shows, you'll always fail.
Right.
And that's what put a bullet in WCW time and time again. They had a main event that people wanted to watch. Tony Schiavone shoots out his mouth, talks some bad about Mick Foley. The people like Mick Foley, so they changed the channels to watch Mick Foley win. Shot your own TV show. In the foot.
That was pretty stupid. Why would you tell someone, hey, one of the most
It's a bad
popular guy
idea.
in wrestling won the title?
Well, because
Go check it out.
Don't mind if I do, Tony.
because to them, Mick Foley was like Chiver. It's one of those things of the guy that looks like he should be sitting in the crowd with you is gonna win a world title, and he thought that would be something to turn people off. Because he thought that everyone thought like they did.
Right.
Why would this guy, this nobody, this guy that looks like he should be delivering mail, is now, sitting here and winning a world heavyweight championship? Instead, what it did was make them go, we love this guy. We've been behind this guy. Even though we don't tune in every week,
Right.
we like this guy.
Especially if you already know that by the end of your Nitro podcast, everyone from the NWO is going to be in the ring beating the shit out of all the faces.
Because here's the thing is I challenge anybody to tell me what the main event of the Nitro was that night when Mick Foley won the world title.
Hogan versus Goldberg.
And nobody gave a damn.
Who?
Hulk Hogan.
Is that when he won the title?
Yep.
No, that can't
Wasn't it?
possibly.
Because they had the one title change, and then didn't they change? It was like 750,000 people that turned the channel.
It was Nash versus Goldberg.
Yeah.
Goldberg got arrested, turned to Hogan, and Kevin Nash became the finger poke of doom.
So there you go. So that's what I'm saying is, would you rather tune into something like that where it's the elite trying to stay elite?
Yeah, that was
like
being a fan of WCW was so difficult because the only reason why I stayed and watched the main event of those shows after a while was out of sheer loyalty to WCW, NWA, Dusty Rhodes, and the guys who came before him because I knew it was going to be Kevin Nash or Scott Hall or Hulk Hogan Maybe not going over, but definitely getting over on the faces, and
it became
was
divine intervention black and white versus divine intervention black and red.
Hey!
Mexico.
We got all together. Look, all 6 guys got together, and we beat up poor Jamal and Dinah Saints and everybody from Gold Coast GCF.
So with
I'm sorry. This is one of our fans. Now, I do agree on this. I mean, I'm a big fan of Enzo. You think Enzo will be signed with
No, that's
AEW?
stupid.
No.
No, I'm
Really?
sorry.
No.
No,
Well,
nobody
because of
needs
his
him for
character.
nothing. No,
And
I'd shoot
here's-
him into the sun.
Right. Here's the thing about Enzo.
Okay.
I vote
is
Enzo off the island.
Enzo does not represent all elite wrestling. Enzo represents Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore was never a great wrestler. What people loved about Enzo was his mic work. If you come into AEW and you don't know how to wrestle, you will not get a foot in that.
Well, what about a commentary then? Like, what about a guy behind the ring doing the commentary?
Not even a little.
Here's the issue with that is the issue with me on that is you are now not doing commentary for the show. You're doing commentary to promote yourself. And that kills it right there for me.
All right.
He was never very good. Like he was never good. He never drew a dime worth of money. He had the little New Jersey thing, and that was about it. And then he gets himself over when they told him not to come in.
Right. Well, and I can't say that he didn't draw a dime because they sold a lot of
he's
soft
yeah.
merchandise.
He did. It's a lot of shirts.
And it was because of the fact that that's what he was good at. He was good at self-promotion. Now, would you put a guy that's good at self-promotion in charge of promoting your show?
But they have Jim Ross. I need no one else.
Yeah, exactly.
I have Jim Ross. I have Chris Jericho. I need no one else.
And the entire time, Enzo would be shitting on Jim Ross. And Jim Ross would be trying to sit there and talk about the match, and Enzo would find a way to turn it into something about himself. So why would you entrust that? That's like you saying, "Hey, we're going to get commentators for this show, and I'm going to make Joey the Bull and Favi my commentators."
Wait, that's not funny. That's not funny. You bloated Johnny Gill looking like full force. Look like every 80s, 90s background hip hop singing ass.
Man.
Anyway, no, but real quick, Luis Flores is asking, hey, John, will OCCW ever host a ladder match?
Who asked me? Who wants to know?
If you pay me enough.
All right. Well, you bring the ladder, Luis, and you can be the first to fall off of it.
Yeah, and if you bring the ladder and you want one of us to go up on it, you better be paying us a whole lot of money to do it too.
Now, I've been in 2 ladder matches, and they are very difficult. I've been hit with a ladder many times.
Yeah.
I hit Othello with a ladder. I put it right on me, did the Terry Funk, smacked him right in the face with it. God help me.
Oh, that was the Second Amendment match that you held with him.
Yep, got a ladder, put it right there, just like Terry Funk himself, smack him right in the face with it.
Yeah. And then I think he regretted every second of bringing all those weapons to that match.
Okay. We're getting. Is he back already?
Yeah, I think I hear him down the hall.
Okay. Now, once again, I have to ask you.
Jeez.
Control is the order of the day. The last.
Let's not fight again. We fight every time.
I mean, I really don't want
Hold on,
to.
stop rubbing your ass on that, dude. I'm sorry.
I've read some of your book. Some of it's about forgiveness and let's not, turning the other cheek or whatever.
You are right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our OCCW champion, Gustin Uberstud.
All this talk about turning cheeks over, get me all excited. Just had to run on in here and let's see.
Okay, I'm going to sit over here a little bit further. Is there someone that wants to come sit between?
Speaking of turning cheeks, I don't see any green. It's St. Patrick's Day, buddy. Come in here and let Daddy get a little pinch of those cheeks.
After St. Patrick's Day.
Both sets of them.
Gringo de Mayo is over.
I wore my best tie for you.
Now listen, you know what?
And I'm wearing my special green panties. Pinchy. Here, let me show you real quick. John, do you mind if I just show everybody? No! Sit down!
They're just trying to bait you. Don't let them do that. Don't make them raise your voice like that again either. Listen.
Is it edible?
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I am glad I'm here as well.
There's a couple things that I wanted to talk to you about this weekend. First is your match with Havoc at VWE.
Sure.
Secondly,
Let's
I
talk
wanted
about
to talk to you about your Blair Witch Wrestling project on Saturday. Okay? So, first, take us through your match with Havoc. And
I did to Havoc exactly what I said I was going to do to Havoc. All him and all his little chivers come out, and they sit down, and they sit there with their stomachs hanging out from underneath their chiver shirt, baked potatoes in one hand, a tub of sour cream in the other hand.
A lot of midriff.
Hey, Gustin, Freddie Chiver, he gonna kick your butt. Can we say butt on this program?
You
I
say
just
butt.
did.
He said fuck.
He did. Who said that? I didn't say that.
I'm just checking. The First Amendment affords me the right of free speech.
That's
Fuck
it.
them all.
Okay, all right.
But real quick, Rachel says hi.
Hey, love you.
Yoga.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Yoga Star?
hey. We're gonna start that
Here we
again?
go
Hot
again.
yoga.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, don't make me come separate you two.
Okay.
I'll get right
You
up
know
in
what?
that
Get
little.
your own yoga star, okay?
Hey, you know I can always promote yours.
Yeah.
Okay, but just don't make. Hey,
sorry,
you watch
sorry.
it too.
Sorry.
I'll come over this table. Anyway, go on with what you're saying. Sorry. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, he'll.
Hey, Yoga Star.
Hey,
Sorry, Mr. Champion.
I mean, no disrespect. No disrespect.
Go ahead, Gooston.
I kind of want to see how this plays out. my match with
Does she have nice yoga
Cyber
pants?
is long over, but this
new
one's just.
OCCW champion, B.A. Marcus Gray.
Hey, no, he knows. It's all love.
Are those yoga pants transparent?
shut up.
Damn, see, he going.
Shut up. Hey, don't you talk about my girl like that.
I'm just asking the question. I'm only talking about Shaft.
Go on.
What are we talking about?
No, we're talking about your match with Bill.
Oh yes, we were talking about me.
Freddie
An excellent
Chiver.
thing. An excellent thing to
Yeah,
talk
all
about.
that.
Yes. So I got up in there and I gave him the spanking. What did you expect it was going to happen?
Well, I to be fair, I kind of expected our champion to win the day, seeing as how you were at the top of your game right now.
Yeah, and you pulled a fast one on me.
Me?
Tried to put my title on the line. I didn't have to put that title on the line. I fulfilled my obligations. 30 days, I fulfilled my obligations, and I put the spanking on Guy Cool, and I did not want to put my title on the line because I did not feel that Freddie the Chiver Havoc deserved a chance that night because there's 20 men that are going to get in the Battle Royal coming up here at the end of the month, and I wanted to be fair to each and every one of those sweet, sweaty, buttery, greasy men, and Freddie Chiver just comes waltzing in and just steals the opportunity right away from him. Well, you got what was coming to you, didn't you, big boy? Yummy, yummy.
So, question: are you going to have a front row seat at the Heartbreak City Rumble? I hope you're going to be there because when I win that, I want to see your face.
Hey, you know what? With all your little snide comments, you should appreciate me. I was trying to save this title just for you. Just so you could get in there and win the Battle Royal, heartbreak everybody, and then you could have a little shot at this. But no, you just want me to throw it away.
I mean, I want you to hold it.
Yeah,
if
you
I didn't
do.
want you to hold it, Guy Cool would be the champion right now.
Damn.
I'm telling you that right now. I want you to hold on to it. I want you to make sure that you take good care of that title.
Oh, I'm
because
taking
when
care
it goes around my waist, I want to be able to see myself in it.
Okay.
And Freddie Havoc says, "You kicked me in my balls, you piece of shit."
That is true. Why do you
have
You're very salty lately. Why are you so angry about the Havoc?
How
person?
dare you accuse me of such a devious The views and opinions of Freddie Havoc and what may or may not have happened in that match are those
I
of
mean,
Freddie Havoc.
maybe he was
make
trying to
no
kick him in
claim
the
about
stomach.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Maybe he was trying to kick him in the stomach, and the
Yes.
stomach hangs a little low.
No.
And
Freddie Havoc.
it ended up in
love
the
you.
You know what?
balls. I mean,
you should
it-
make fun of people's physical deficit.
Yeah, I'm
because
big dude too, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
Hey,
Look at right there. Look. Okay, so
I can't help it if Fozzie Bear took a crap on the table and Freddie Chiver Havoc came rolling out of it, running after my belt.
Waka, waka, waka.
I didn't want to put that on the line against. Good. Speaking of which, Freddie Chiver, I thought I was going to get to see you today, but since you're not here, you know everybody's got a little gold. You got a little silver, a little trim on that hat. I got a little gold in front of me. Marcus got a little gold around his neck. The only person without any gold is Freddie Chiver. So I came here thinking he was going to be here. I'm going to give a goodwill peace offering. I got it right here.
well, that was thoughtful.
It is
Very
thoughtful.
adult. I mean,
A brand
that's
new
too bad
piece
he's
of
not
gold,
here.
still in the wrapper, just for
Gold.
Freddie the Chiver Havoc. Here it is. Look, I'm gonna open it for you, so you know that it's fresh. There you go, gold just for you, Freddie Havoc, Freddie
Is
the
that
Chiver.
a gold
Come
piece
on.
of poo?
That right there. Here, let me.
he is the golden
No,
shit.
don't bring your poo over here. You fecal freak.
At home.
Can it speak? Can it speak?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Hey man, Freddie Chiver Havoc, you come up in this studio, man. You wanna come fight me, man? You a baked potato? I'm what happens after a baked potato. You know what I'm saying? You Come up in the studio. Hey, Freddie Havoc, you want some? Come get some.
That's not him.
That's
What are you doing putting someone's driver's license?
No, that's not on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
This right here goes to show the defiance of age-old scientific proof to the contrary that a turd can indeed be polished. So, Freddie Havoc, a little bit of hard work and dedication, you too can wear gold all around your body, just like the gentleman at this table. It's amazing, isn't it? Science out the window. Oh, there it goes. Oops.
Well, it's in L.A. Doesn't
Look at LA now.
It's in L.A. Doesn't matter.
Are you okay? No offense.
Hopefully you didn't hit the L.A. assassin down there. I mean, how is he doing?
We've got insurance, man. I think we killed a guy. Hey! All right?
He's selling oranges down there. God dang it!
Hey,
Be careful, don't push on the window too hard.
I almost felt my doom. Good looking out. Good looking out, understood. I could have died. You didn't even care. You didn't even try to save me.
Well, you're a
Look
bat.
at
You can fly.
I mean, I'll just find another
Squishy
tag team
Poo
partner.
is scheduled for a 1 count.
Ball.
It says right there on the package. They had to make it a little bit easier for Freddie Havoc because he ain't gonna win a championship any other way. You only get 1 count.
I've heard the term "shit rolls downhill," but shit
And
falling
also,
off the top floor.
It's
that's
still
another
rolling down the
story.
hill.
All right, that's it. All right,
Straight to the Staples Center.
Champ. Let's. I wanted to ask you about your match the next evening. All right. Now here's an interesting thought. You know, put the indie or independence in independent wrestling. A few weeks back, Vintage Dragon had asked me, "Hey, what do you charge for ring rentals, etc.? I want to set the ring up at this private show in L.A. in the Hollywood Hills." I said, "Sure, this is what it costs." You know, we sent the ring out there, and I'm gonna let you take it from there. It was in Lincoln Heights.
This sounds like a drug buy to me. Was there some kind
This is
of
a
drug
really
deal?
cool
I
story.
thought this was some kind of crazy setup where I go all the way up to Lincoln Heights thinking, okay, time for a wrestling show, time for LA to see the champion of Orange County and show them what it's all about. And then this is what, you see that? This is what I get to. I get to this. That is the truck that transported the ring to the venue. That is the venue. And I'm sitting here
That's the
thinking,
venue.
that's the venue. And I'm thinking, John Malice, what did you and Vintage Dragon, you must have concocted some little scheme. I'm waiting for Freddie Havoc to come jumping out of the bushes with a Jason mask on. and this is what I get. And I'm thinking, this is it. This is it for me. There is no wrestling show. So, we proceed to, there it is. There's the ring
The ring crew starts putting
the
up
ring crew puts up the ring, and I'm sitting there thinking that this is a ploy. This is not happening. I mean, the view is nice, but I'm not quite sure.
The view is
You're gonna leave your body right over there in the bushes.
I feel like 3 trees
seems
down
like
is
a
where they were
trick.
cooking the meth.
So,
Like,
yeah,
that's
right,
just-
3 trees down. So, okay, now if you look at this, kind of a neat picture.
Look at this.
Can we get a close up of that, Robert? Because I mean, this is both eerie.
Well, I'm
It's a
gonna.
horror
and,
movie.
and beautiful, right? Would you say?
It's beautiful for the scene of a horror movie. Yes, I mean this is my view from the entryway, which incidentally is the back of the U-Haul. they had to chop down those little jumping beans, jumped out with their machetes and started chopping down trees and bushes, trying to get a clear path so we could wrestle. And so there it is. So I'm thinking that's it, man. I see a machete. One German boy of a highly lightened skin color. In this environment, it's all going downhill. Where's Marcus Ray? I don't know. I think this is it for me. Goodbye, everybody.
So take us through. So what
Bury
happened
me
next?
here.
What happened next?
So, all of a sudden, someone yells down that hill, "Hey, come on up here and see the wrestling show!" And about 100 drunk, high, crazy, agitated, happy, horny young lads and lasses come up the hill and surround the ring. Look at this.
Wow.
There's at least 100 people.
Robert, can you give us a full screenshot of this? Because I was in shock at how many people were there. It was about 100 people, 80 people.
Is that Sean Black right there in the front row?
No,
No.
he wouldn't make it up the stairs. So, all right. So look. All right. You guys can start another war here. So it's surrounded. If you look, that looks like the music video. Is that the music video that was shot later on?
They were shooting a music video that day. Yes.
Where were you? Watching the women going booty, butt cheeks. There's a music video. I expect B.A. Marcus Frey to be there.
I had more important things to do.
In any case, so who did you wind up wrestling?
So I wrestled. Vintage has a student that has been training at OCCW, and I thought, well, I'll just make quick work of this young man. Let me tell you, that man made me work. And work we did, and every single thing we did, that crowd right there ate it up just like candy. Nom, nom, nom. They loved every single thing we did. It was amazing. I haven't seen an indie wrestling. I haven't seen an indie wrestling crowd.
Don't make him do that again.
Oh, Marcus Frey wants to see it.
How you doing in sign language?
Mouth noises. You like that, Marcus?
Hey now, oh my.
Come on over and sit on Daddy's casting couch, big boy. You want a little piece of
Let me
this?
see what you got started.
Yeah.
I should have done
I think
that.
Man,
I'm
you
gonna help you win the Rumble. You #1 contender. You got all this.
Yeah.
That's all for you, baby. That's all for
It's
you.
waiting for you, nice and shiny. Hey,
Oh,
you
wait.
said you wanted to see yourself in it. Right here, go, take a look, see if you can see yourself, because that's as close as you ever gonna get, big
Damn.
boy.
But you beat up the
Hey.
kid in the forest.
I
right?
beat
'Cause
up
he's
the-
not
I beat up the
OCCW
kid in the
champion.
woods.
You are the worst camp counselor ever. You are the worst Boy Scout troop leader that I have ever heard of.
This was the hottest indie wrestling crowd I have ever seen. Every single thing.
It was that hot out there?
We locked up and they went wild.
Really?
Went wild. Yeah.
So it was a fun night. You and I imagine Vintage had a match, and there was just the 2 matches, and you guys brought it.
Two matches, tore down the house, or burned down the hillside, I guess, if you want to put it.
There's laws against that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
they had tiki. Look, you can see the tiki torch up on the ring. They
Look,
tried to
that
do like a
causes a
cane
forest
effect.
fire.
I thought you could.
Oh my God! When you
Put it
burn
out,
down
put it
the house,
out.
that is on
The whole,
fire.
we're all gonna burn.
Fantastic. So a good experience.
Great experience. I would
That's
do it
awesome.
again 100 times.
So thanks to Vintage Dragon and his friends for helping us set that up. OCCW goes to Lincoln Heights, right? We're taking over the
That's
South,
right.
man,
We're
huh?
taking over the whole hillside.
the whole hillside and
Yep.
and
Just
the suburbs.
watch out for the banjos, Marcus Frey. If you hear banjos, you better
Oh,
get out and
no.
run the other way.
You will not find my black ass nowhere near something that looks like swampland or Hills Have Eyes doing a wrestling
We
damn
can cuddle
show.
in the back of the U-Haul, you know.
I watched Looked Out.
It'll be
That was
great.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's the scene where the dude comes running out of nowhere.
Stirring their tea. Stirring that tea.
I'm good.
Yes, there it is.
Oh.
The match of the century.
cheeseburger versus chiver potato.
Look at that
There's
mouthful
gonna
of.
be a lot of potatoes thrown in that one.
Well, they already had the match, and he won
Okay.
fair and square. You know,
Yes.
Why would you eat a potato when you could go to McDonald's? My God, obviously Freddie Havoc has gone to McDonald's much more than he's ever eaten a baked potato. So Freddie Havoc
That's
is down in
pretty-
the match.
Except when he goes to McDonald's, he has to bring along his baked potato toppings, so give him a little extra sour cream.
I
on
feel
his
like Havoc's
burger.
gonna walk in here with a kendo stick and hit everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Before he does though, all right. I want to get this out. All right. We hinted at this. We talked about this earlier. Saturday, March 30th, American Legion Post 716. Heartbreak City Rumble. This man, B.A. Marcus Frey, is teamed with this man,
Boy, howdy.
Azrael, as they will be competing against Team Exodus of Tony Reyes and Bulletproof for the OCCW Tag Team Championship. Boys, gentlemen, men, what is in store for Team Exodus? And tell me how
I can't wait for that match.
how the
Well, let me start
teaming
by
is going.
saying, me and Azrael may not have ever seen eye to eye before this, but I damn sure you that at this point in time, Team Exodus's days are numbered. They always say in the Bible that you never know the day, hour, or time when the end of the world is coming, but I guarantee you this, March 30th, you will know when the end is coming.
You never know when the day, hour, or time of Marcus Frey's speech is gonna end. What do you have to say about this, Azrael?
Now, I've been studying the good book with the little T on it. I'm going to be calling timeouts in this match because I've been studying Leviticus. And Leviticus summons the sea monster out of the sea, and I'm going to unleash that on Tony Reyes. I was reading in
That
the
is
part...
not-
But I'll go over it again. But look, the plagues of Egypt upon Tony Reyes. There's gonna be the locusts. We're gonna part the ocean and drop the ocean on him. There's gonna be the beast with 10 tentacles and 10 heads and 57 horns, and the player that I'm gonna ride in on a white horse. Tony Reyes.
And it seemed the only book that he actually enjoyed out of the entire thing was Revelation.
I like numbers. I was like 001.
That's not what numbers is.
Like,
we have been over this. That is not what numbers is.
I forget. There's all the lights. It's very confusing. You know, I read Lord of the Rings, and it's
that's
a long
not
time.
the same thing.
We are gonna throw the ring into the fire, and Tony Reyes is gonna just disappear at this match. Look, I've been waiting to put a beating on Tony Reyes for like months now, years now.
We're gonna be lucky if we can stay on the same page to this match. But one of two things are ending. It's either gonna be the title reign of Exodus or the damn livelihood of Azrael. One of the two are going to be ending on March 30th.
Galatians 4:16. So I have made an enemy out of you by telling you the truth. That's actually the Bible, and I'm laying so much truth on Tony Reyes.
What were you saying?
Galatians 4:16. It's in the Bible, I'm pretty sure.
And I'm gonna lay some truth. You better hope you guys win those titles and bring it home, because it's as close as BAMF is ever gonna get to wearing some nice shiny jewelry around his waist to complement that ugly stupid jewelry around his chest.
Never go to get it.
You keep running.
You
keep running.
No.
We weren't gonna fight. Turn the other cheek.
Hey, we can get Mikey in there real quick.
Love one another. Love.
This has been the OCCW. This is Joey the Bull. We'll see you next week.
Hey.